I feel like I need to apologize ahead of time for this week's episode. Normally, I try to derail Jason with the most inane and dumb questions, and it wasn't until after we were finished recording that he reminded me I forgot to ask him what his drag name would be. We didn't decide on that ahead of time, he just knew that it needed to be a question, he already had an answer ready. Of course, my drag name would be Shay Shay. Jason's drag name? Cherry Pie, with the pie symbol. Fucking brilliant. Welcome to You've Got Mails.
CJ, as we sit here in this very moment, you are but a podcast princess. But over the next hour, you will learn the 4 steps it takes to become a podcast queen. Welcome to You Got Mails, everybody. I'm Jason. I'm here with CJ. And today we're going to speak about 1995's To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. What is a Wong Fu? Who is Julie Newmar?
What's step 1?
Asking questions, CJ.
Oh, I got questions for you.
You just asked one. You're on your step.
Nice.
You're on your first step to becoming a queen of podcasting. So what's up today, buddy? How'd you feel about this movie? What did you know about it? Because I think I said at the end of the last episode, I actually added this to the list. I've seen it somewhat recently for my first time and was a fan.
I knew that this was about drag queens in the desert.
Okay.
But then I also could have been confusing that with, what's the other one? Priscilla,
Queen of the Desert.
Yes, which is also drag in the desert, right?
It is, which I think this movie was loosely based on, from what I understand. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert came first. And it was an Australian movie. Starring Hugo Weaving and Guy Pearce. So
okay,
that may go on the list to replace this one, because I feel like... why not? That's the next logical step.
Here's the question.
Okay.
First question: is this a chick flick, or is this a romance movie?
So the girl I am dating suggested we watch this and loves it, and I think a lot of her friends like it.
That's qualified enough for me.
I think it's more of a chick flick than a guy flick.
This is true. I would assume it was a drag flick.
I think it's an everybody flick, CJ.
I'll go with that.
Which I think is part of the appeal of this movie. Is this movie's kind of all about just accepting people for who they are and just living your true life. So I don't know. I feel like that speaks to everybody, but I do think that this is
go and be with God, or you do you, or
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm happy. Are you happy? I'm happy for you. Yeah. That's the way I live life.
Yeah, but it's I call this a feel good movie. So. I mean, is it a chick flick? I don't know. But it was introduced to me by a chick, so I threw it on the list, and I feel like that's good enough for me.
That qualifies it.
Yeah. So this movie follows 3 main characters. We've got Patrick Swayze playing Vita Boheme. You've got Wesley Snipes playing Noxeema Jackson. And you've got John Leguizamo playing Chi-Chi Rodriguez.
You don't even have notes. You remembered this.
I have notes, but they're pretty unforgettable names, honestly.
That's true.
And this movie kind of starts out with Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes getting ready for a drag pageant. They're competing to become the #1 drag queen in New York City.
It's probably a pretty high honor.
I'm sure it is. And what I want to say first about this scene, which I think about this movie is really interesting and I like a lot about this movie. This is the only time in the movie that you see either one of these 2 guys.
True. Actually, they had a very gratuitous, almost nude scene for Patrick Swayze.
And Wesley Snipes. He's wearing, skimpy underpants, and he's putting on stockings, and he's wearing heels. I mean, he's practically naked. And so, I mean, you're about, that towel goes 1 or 2 inches left or right, and you're seeing some Patrick Swayze dong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyhow.
Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say next to the words Patrick Swayze dong.
Yeah, it'll get you every time. Dirty dancing. Talk about dirty dangling.
There we go.
All right, anyway. Killed CJ.
Oh.
But yeah, this is the other time in this movie you see these 2, pre-transformation getting all done up in their drag. And the whole movie is played in drag.
Yeah, and I want you to think about that whole scene.
Okay,
it's sort of a montage of them getting ready,
absolutely,
and the amount of effort they go through, and put a pin in that. We're gonna revisit this a little later. Okay. I have thoughts on this.
All right, and I'm glad you said the M word because there are multiple montages in this movie.
Oh yeah,
and I love a good montage. This is one of my favorite things is montages. But yeah, so it's them getting ready, and then we get to see John Leguizamo's character Chi-Chi Rodriguez
Yes.
walking through the city streets. She looks like if Vita Boheme and Noxzema Jackson are like A-list drag queens, Chi-Chi seems like she might be like a C or a B level drag queen.
Beginner.
Yeah. Not as well put together. Seems a little rough around the edges, where these other two are very statuesque and proper and just, very feminine. And, you can tell they're kind of the royalty of the drag scene, whereas Chi-Chi is not. She's walking through the hood. Guys are throwing bottles at her, screaming at her.
These are people that have lived through the 80s drag experience in New York City. They are harder than Vietnam vets. Like, they are fucking dangerous human beings.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with them. I mean, we see it throughout the movie. They're some tough cookies. Like, you don't mess with these ladies.
Yes.
But so, we get to the pageant. You kind of see Noxzema and Vita meet outside, so you get the impression they know each other already. They're friendly, at least, because during this pageant, there are a lot of catty looks, and just there's a lot of bitterness amongst the drag queens in this. Like, you can kind of see that Vita and Noxzema are the two to beat.
Let me ask you my first real question of this one.
Sure.
You ever been to a drag show?
A couple weeks ago. My first one. Yeah. It was actually, I went with a lady friend. There was a Mean Girls tribute drag show at a distillery here in Pittsburgh.
Sounds like a good time.
Had a blast.
Yeah.
Great time.
Oh, I know this from some experience. So I used to work a lot in like theater, events, things like that. There are different types of drag shows. There are what I call the street level drag shows, which is, drag bingo, drag brunches.
Yeah, I've been to a few bingos as well.
And then there is this event that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
That's a fucking drag show. Yeah. Like, that is... Shit is going on.
So I've never been to one of that level.
I've only worked at them, and always a thrilling time.
But like I said, I've been to some drag bingos with you, as a matter of fact. With drag bingo's a good time, and the Mean Girls thing was a drag brunch that I went to. But very high energy. The place was packed. Just it felt like a serious event. Like, it was just a brunch of distillery. But they packed them in, and they put on a show. Like, this is a choreographed, well thought out, just talent level, like, kind of like dancing and performance.
I think those kind of shows are important, for culture in general.
Yeah.
To show people that, people in drag aren't here to abduct your children.
No, yeah,
because that's something people are worried about nowadays.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm sorry.
Those people probably don't listen to this podcast, and if you do,
shame on you. Go to a drag
give
brunch.
us like a 5-star rating and review, but don't tell anybody you listen to us, for Christ's sake. We don't want that kind of negative energy.
Yeah.
But you can keep
get your ass to a drag bingo.
Yeah, but you can keep listening. So anyhow, we get the pageant. We get the feeling that Vita and Noxzema are the ones to beat. You've got Chi-Chi there as well. She's putting on a good performance also. Then they announce the winner. This was actually one of my favorite parts of this movie, because we get RuPaul.
Yes.
The real deal RuPaul lowers in from the ceiling in a sequined Confederate flag gown. Did you catch what her drag name was?
No.
Rachel Tension.
Racial tension.
Racial tension.
Oh.
She's wearing this.
Wow, that blew past me. You know what?
This African-American drag queen in a sequined Confederate flag dress. And I thought to myself, this is the only time that it's actually okay to wear the Confederate flag. This is the one time.
They found it.
Yeah.
We're taking it back.
Yeah, this is the one time where it's okay.
This scene reminded me, because my movie viewing, my cinema never really crosses paths with RuPaul. I've met RuPaul.
Get the fuck out.
I have met RuPaul.
Really?
Yes, at a drag show.
Did you?
I was working. RuPaul was a special guest. Came in beforehand. Amazingly tall, wearing a suit.
Might be taller than me.
And let's before I go into this story, I'm going to say this from the get-go.
Okay.
I got no hate in my heart.
Right.
There is a scene in this movie where they describe what a drag queen is. And they say it is a gay man dressed as a woman.
Yes.
If I see anybody dressed as a woman, in my head I usually go with she, her pronouns.
Yes.
I'm also talking about Patrick Swayze playing a man, playing a woman.
Yes.
So I might just step all over fucking pronouns in this. It is not from a bad place.
Understood. And
also,
forgive us.
I had
America.
to look this up. RuPaul identifies as a man.
Okay.
And as a drag queen, and as a woman. Depends on what makeup. So I met RuPaul the man.
Gender fluid, I believe is what we call it.
I met RuPaul. The man was the nicest fucking human being on the planet.
I can't imagine they're not.
It was a drag show in a filthy, abandoned warehouse.
Oh, Jesus.
So it was, RuPaul walks in wearing what is probably an $8,000 suit.
Armani.
Is 6'5" or so.
Yeah.
Looks around a little bit and goes, "Where's my dressing room?" And that was about it. All very nice. And then that evening went into hijinks from there. But that's a different movie.
It's good to hear that RuPaul is a good person. I never had any doubts, but that's all the impression I've always gotten. So we get our RuPaul cameo. She gives out the award for the drag performer of the year. It's a tie.
Surprise, surprise.
Noxzema Jackson, Vita Boheme, Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, they win. We pan across, we see Chi Rodriguez, John Leguizamo's character, was inching forward to collect the award, thinking for sure that she'd won. Finds out she didn't, heartbroken, runs off the stage, falls down, I believe, as she's running across the stage, because she's not a seasoned drag vet yet.
Real entitled.
I mean, if there's a character I don't like in this movie, not that I don't like her character, she grates on me a little bit. She definitely grows as a character and has an arc, which we'll get to. But upon first meeting her, bit of a brat.
Yes.
A bit entitled, a bit spoiled, but clearly has some trauma in her past, and it kind of causes her to have issues trusting in herself and in people. So, after this scene, we get Noxzema and Vita walking back to, I think, Vita's apartment, coming up the stairs, and for whatever reason, Chi Rodriguez is on the stairs crying in the apartment building. I couldn't figure this out. Do they all live in the same apartment building?
Maybe it's like RuPaul's Drag Race.
Maybe.
They're all in the same place.
Maybe, and there's cameras just following them around everywhere.
I've never actually seen it, but I assume that they put a lot of drag queens in one place. So that's
any reality show, I think.
And they refer to John Leguizamo multiple times in this as little Latin boy in drag.
Yeah.
With such concern.
Why are you crying, little Latin boy in drag?
Yes.
And Chi tells them that she thought she was going to win, and she had her heart set on this, and everything she touches, she kind of ruins, and she thought this was going to be different. And Vita is this very much like a mother figure, caring, she really seems to care about everybody around her. She just seems like a good-natured, person. So she takes Noxzema aside up to the apartment and convinces her that they need to take Chi along with them. I'm sorry, I didn't even say. The award for winning Drag Queen of the Year is a trip to Hollywood.
Yes.
So they have plans. They're given plane tickets, accommodations to go to Hollywood and compete to be like Miss Drag USA, national champs.
I think they have a shot. Another big tie.
Yeah. So Vita convinces Noxzema that they need to find a way to take her with them. They only have 2 plane tickets, but they're going to find a way to travel there another way and take her with them. They kind of take her under their wing and turn her into like a real drag queen.
Which I like this. It's like Big Sisters.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like Little Sisters, Big Sisters.
And it's setting up like one of my favorite movie genres. It's just like a good road trip adventure, like buddy. I mean, if anything, this is almost like a buddy comedy.
Yeah,
in a way. So they grab Chi and they take her to a bar in New York City where they're going to discuss their plans to get them all to Hollywood together. This is where the most joyous and surprising cameo of all time happens.
Robin Williams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Robin Williams comes out of nowhere as John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. This is his character's name. I'm sure that's not his real name.
I've noticed from this movie and in The Birdcage, Robin Williams somehow could pull off like a condescending and stereotypical gay character without sounding condescending and stereotypical.
Yeah, you still love... I mean, I don't think there's anything Robin Williams could have done that would make you not love him.
It's true.
It's just, he was just one of those people.
You also missed a quick glimpse of Naomi Campbell.
Yeah, who tells Noxzema Jackson that she's gorgeous. And she wishes she could be so beautiful.
Yeah.
Which was great. But you get the impression that John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt is kind of he's one of those guys that has connections. He gets you what you need. If you have a problem, he can solve it. He's a fixer. So they sell him the plane tickets, and they ask him to turn that into a mode of transportation to get to Hollywood. And he just lets them know that if they go to a used car dealership run by Crazy Elijah and drop his name, he'll give them any car in the lot, $50.
Awesome.
Fucking hell. Like, that would be such a life-changing thing for someone. If you imagine, like...
$50?
Yeah, like, that's unthinkable at this point in my life.
You can't even get windshield washer fluid for $50.
I mean, even at that time, like, I don't think you were getting a car for $50.
No. Especially the car they got.
Yeah, a beautiful, like, convertible Cadillac, which Crazy Elijah warns them before they take it that they don't want that car. It will not get them across the country. They think they look gorgeous in it, and it's the perfect car, so they take it. Crazy Elijah, did you notice him? The actor?
Who was it?
I like the cameos in this. Did you ever watch Deadwood or Sons of Anarchy?
Yes, he's also he was the sheriff from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, Dayton Cali is his name, and he was Calamity Jane's bestie in Deadwood.
Okay.
So I was happy to see him also. But they take the car, and this is where we get our very small... I mean, as far as the length of the movie goes, the road trip itself does not last very long.
No, and it's filled with mistakes.
In what way?
Well, first, they take the worst car on the lot.
Yes.
Style over substance for this car.
Right.
And then...
Which I do feel kind of fits their characters.
And then I'm sure you're heading for this. They go to Patrick Swayze's house. And there's sort of
his childhood home.
His childhood home. There's a sad scene where his mom's on the porch. And she turns her back on him.
Yeah, sees him,
goes
realizes
back
it's
in.
him.
And she grabs the maps and starts ripping them up in frustration and says, "We don't need maps." Now, here's a thing.
You most certainly need maps.
You need maps no matter who you are.
Yeah.
There is no, like, sixth sense for going anywhere. I use Google Maps for everything. If I was a person that I knew could drive into a small town and be murdered on sight, I definitely want the right maps to know where I'm going.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I didn't really think about that. I thought it was a stupid decision, but that's a very big theme in this movie where they're so afraid of not being accepted, and anywhere they go that they're not familiar with, they're in danger.
Yes.
So yeah, to throw out the maps in that case, I've lived in Pittsburgh for going on 25 years now. I still use my GPS daily almost. Unless I'm going from like home to work or like home to the gym, like someplace I go all the time.
Oh, totally.
Like I'm using my GPS because one wrong turn in this city and you could end up God knows where.
It's true. Driving off a bridge. It happens.
Yes, absolutely it happens. So, I mean, to think that you can just... Now, I will say this. If you were to put me in a car and told me, get to California without a map, I think I could do it.
What are you going to do? Hop in an old Cadillac and drive left?
You just head west. Like, you just got to keep heading west. And that's not that difficult. You just keep going for whatever highway's west. And you'll get there eventually.
I am shook.
I believe...
You're just going to wait until sunrise every morning and drive in that direction?
All I have to do is get to the coast, man. Like, I'm not saying I could get right to Hollywood, but I'm saying I could get to the state of California without any issues. I believe that in my heart that I could do that.
I feel a road trip.
Let's do it.
You've Got Mail's road trip 2024.
But I do not think I could get to... But I'm also... 6'6", like 295-pound man, not a drag queen in 1990s driving across Middle America. So they need a map, 100%. But so we get this little bit of a road trip. They have like a couple little, like mainly like one little stop along the way where they are getting tired for the night. They need to pull into a hotel. Yeah,
with the women's basketball team.
Yes.
And they're accepted in immediately.
They are. It's actually really nice, but they start to pull into the hotel parking lot, and they don't like the looks of it. Well, Noxzema doesn't like the looks of it. You get the feeling, Noxzema's always the one that is like, no, we can't be here. They don't like us. We're going to get in trouble. We could be in a lot of trouble if we stop in the wrong place. So you kind of get the feeling that she's been through some stuff.
Yeah, wish we had a map to show us where to go.
Yeah, exactly. Chi-Chi, of course, is just like, I just want to sleep somewhere. I'm getting out of the car. So they have to go into the hotel. They walk in. The front desk clerk welcomes them with open arms, says he should have came out, and you're kind of like, well, this is nice. What's going on here? And then he tells them that they can go into the lounge and meet up with the other ladies. And they go in, and there's literally a women's basketball association thing happening. They're in town for a game or something.
This cuts me back to the part I told you to put a pin in.
Okay.
The amount of time it takes to get ready in this lifestyle. Multiple scenes. This is the first time it happens, but multiple times in this movie,
yes.
It jumps from one scene to the next, and they are all in completely different outfits. And I think that's supposed to be a joke in this movie, but from them in the parking lot to inside the hotel, They walk through a door there in completely different outfits.
Yes, there are several scenes. They even actually, after they break down at one point, they don't break down yet. They stop at a truck stop, and they all walk into the bath. It is nighttime. They walk into the truck stop bathroom, come out, complete costume change. First of all, who is that for? Because you're in the middle of nowhere at a truck stop. There's no one around. Not even a truck stop. It's like a rest station.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think it was played for laughs to a degree. There are so many different outfits in this movie. So many different costumes. The costume designer on this movie was putting in work.
They earned their money.
And the actors in this movie have said that when this movie was over, they burned all their costumes and wigs because it was a nightmare every day to get all the makeup done and get into the dresses and get into everything. So it wasn't an easy feat for them to just switch out of these clothes.
Yes.
So there was a lot of work going into just getting changed for like a 2-minute scene, just to change into something else for like another 2-minute scene. We get them at the hotel. The next day we get to see that they're playing little hoops with the ladies. You get to see Noxzema Jackson. I feel like this was like a White Men Can't Jump little Easter egg from Wesley Snipes where he comes in in full drag and does a little under the leg, alley-oop. So we get that. That's a cool little scene. From there, we drive on a little further, and this is where we're introduced to Chris Penn.
This fucking guy.
Slimeball Sheriff Chris Penn, who plays Officer Dollard.
Officer Douche Nozzle.
But he has a misprint on his badge, so he's Officer Dullard, which is great. And that's what he's called the entire movie. And everyone's like, Officer Dullard, it's Dollard. It's a misprint. It's a good throwaway, kind of like funny line that happens throughout the movie. He pulls over the ladies because he says they have a taillight out, and immediately, this guy's just a piece of shit. Like, first of all, he pulls them over, he walks up to the window, he flashes his light in, sees them all, doesn't know they're drag queens. He thinks they're all women. Says a bunch of racist stuff about how, Patrick Swayze's character, Vita, shouldn't be driving with a couple of expletives. He uses some
just in case you don't think this guy's going to be evil.
Oh, they put it all over the place. Like, there's no doubt about it that this guy's the slime bag, evil, bad guy of this movie.
Yes.
Then he pulls Vita out of the car, he takes her over, and from that point on tries to basically assault her. Puts her up on the hood of his car, tries to slip his hand up her dress, finds something else that he wasn't expecting, freaks out. Vita pushes him, and he falls down on the ground and passes out cold.
Fragile little power trip, this guy.
He is. Like,
this is when Jesse Eisenberg should have walked out and just been like, roll number 14, the double tap.
Yeah.
Like, you got to make sure he's gone.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they don't know where they are. She calls the girls out of the car, thinks that she killed them. They send Chi-Chi over to check his pulse. Clearly, she's not a doctor because she checks the pulse and tells them all that he's dead. Spoiler
At this point,
alert.
Hasn't even done the steps to be a drag queen as far as a doctor.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. He's not dead. But, he's passed out on the ground. They leave him lying there. But, I mean, to be fair, like I said, these are 3 gay men in drag in the middle of nowhere. They don't even know what state they're in. They think they're in West Virginia. He clarifies that they're not. Because, remember, they threw out the map, so they don't know where they are. And they may have just killed a police officer. At least they think they do. So they're getting the hell out of there. And I don't blame them. I'd get the fuck out of there, too.
Yeah, 99% of the time, this story does not end with a bunch of comical montages.
No, that's the thing about this movie. There's a lot of scenes in this movie, which there's a couple more I think we'll get into. If this was not played as a comedy, this could be a very sad... Like, you could totally make this movie into, like, some kind of, like, really just, like, thoughtful, dramatic, just tearjerker of a tragedy of a movie.
Totally.
Like, let alone in the 90s. Like, you could do it today with the way that the world is today, and it would still be the exact same, like, outcome for these people. But, from here, they get to the rest station, which I was talking about. Even though they may have just murdered a cop, they decide to change their clothes.
Yes.
Come back out, car won't start. And now they're stuck. May have just murdered a cop, and now we're stuck at a rest station. But we look fabulous.
That's true.
So, Chi-Chi decides to go and try to hitchhike. They tell her it's a horrible idea. She's just literally going out on the side of the road, a drag queen in the middle of nowhere at night, in the sticks, just trying to hitchhike. And Bobby Ray pulls up.
Good old Bobby Ray.
Good old Bobby Ray in a pickup truck, a good old down-home country boy.
As we find out, one of the few teenagers in this town that is not part of the rape gang.
Oh, gee, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll get to that. And this
Spiderville.
Spiderville, as what Chi-Chi calls it that, I
Yeah.
think. She's like, we're going to Spiderville. They pull up to this little dust bowl of a town. It's literally, like, it looks like a ghost town kind of situation, like, in the way it's set up. It's still dirt streets. It's, like, old wooden buildings.
It's got to be a set from an old Western movie.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
It was awesome.
Like, even for the 90s, it wasn't like a modern town. Like, I don't know if towns like that existed in the 90s. It didn't look like it should. Like, none of those houses probably had indoor plumbing, is the impression you get from looking at it. But this is kind of where the bulk of the movie takes place. You know, I know we've been talking for like a half hour now already.
Yeah.
But, you know, the road trip and the beginning is not much of this movie. Like, it's the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get to this town, and this is kind of where we meet all these little fun side characters. Some fun, some not so fun little parts of this town. Much like Steel Magnolias, which we spoke about a couple weeks ago, a lot of the men in this movie are fucking terrible.
Yes.
But what I wanted from Steel Magnolias is what I get from this movie, where these women all stand up to these shitty men and make decisions based on how shitty these guys are, as opposed to just being like, oh, that's just this guy, you know, Virgil. It's just Virgil. But we meet the people that own the hotel, which is Carol Ann and Virgil, husband and wife. Virgil's a mechanic. He goes and tows the Cadillac back so he can fix it to get him on the road. But can't get the part for a couple days. They're going to have to stay in this town. You know, it's Saturday. They got to stay till Monday. No one's very happy about it. Our main characters are not happy about it. The town people seem to just be interested and don't really care.
Oh, yeah, this is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to this town.
Yeah. So they set them up in a little hotel room in their hotel, and they have to stay for a few days. When they find out that the car's not going to work and they're stuck there, they decide they're going to try to make the best out of a bad situation. And this is where we get a glimpse of what can only be described as drag queen magic.
Yeah, I thought this was a little misplaced.
It seemed weird for the movie. It was, but again, it was yet another montage, which I appreciated.
Of decorating with all the clothes. Now, I do believe they had that much clothing with them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But so they go in to decorate the little room that they're staying in, and we get a little montage set to the 70s era Wonder Woman TV show with Linda Carter.
Mm-hmm. I have that written in my notes. Wonder Woman montage?
Yeah. But they're decorating the room with what appears to be magic. So, like, Chi-Chi throws something over a lamp and then, like, does the little I Dream of Jeannie, like, crinkles her nose, or Bewitched thing.
Yes.
And the light comes on. And then Vita throws, like, a sash at the wall and magically, like, turns itself into, like, a ribbon and hangs on the wall without anybody touching it.
It was a little odd because it was the only time in this entire movie where suddenly drag queens are magic.
Yeah. Part of me was like, well, maybe that's just kind of like, because all the townspeople are over there, like, looking in the window watching them, and maybe this is like a metaphor for how, like, they see them. But either way, it felt very strange. It was a very strange, in an otherwise movie that I really enjoy, and, like, everything seems to fit well. That scene was very odd to me.
Yes.
The way it just kind of pops in the middle, and then just, it's never spoken of again. So I'm not really sure what happened right there. But yeah, so I mean, most of our time is spent in this town. After they settle in, you kind of get to see the effect they have on this whole town and, like, their lives.
Well, raising the women up in this town.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. And even some of the guys, I mean...
Yeah, the guy that owns the diner.
The guy that owns the diner.
Pretty legit guy.
Yeah. And
Billy Ray, Bobby Ray, what's his name?
I don't remember that guy's name. Bobby Ray,
that's it.
Bobby Ray was the cowboy that picks him up, who's, like, one of the nice guys. Yeah, and then you got the other the older gentleman that runs the diner. And you've got the kid that runs the clothing store with the stutter. There are some nice guys in this movie. There's a few nice ones, but it's outweighed by all the massive douches that are in this movie. But, like, I guess we could get to that uncomfortable rape scene that we were talking about.
Holy hell.
So there is a gang of late teen, early 20-something boys in this town who just seem like total shitheels. When everybody pulls up, they clearly are just leering at the drag queens, the women that rolled into town with bad intent.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And there is a scene where Chi-Chi, for whatever reason, is wandering the town by herself. They all roll up on her and basically surround her and infer that they are going to assault her. This was maybe one of my only big problems with this movie, is this group of, like, 6 guys who are awful, awful people actually get, like,
a redemption arc.
Not even an arc, but they just get redeemed in, like, a stupid way. Not even stupid, because I love the scene, so let's talk about montage number 3. We get, like, a great, not just a glow-up, CJ, which you know we love a good glow-up on You've Got Mails. we get a whole town glow up.
They did.
Where the drag queens take all these like different women from the town that we've gotten to see and take them to the beauty parlor. They do their hair and their makeup for them. Then they take them to this little store. They find a bunch of like awesome like vintage like 70s clothes. They dress them all up. It's just a great, it's a great montage. I love it.
Who goes upstairs in the vintage stores at Wesley Snipes?
Yes, Noxzema Jackson.
And loses her fucking
starts
mind.
Screaming. Because they go into this little store and it's literally just like denim. It's like a fucking Tractor Supply store. So it's like jeans and plaid shirts like everywhere as far as the eye can see. And, Noxzema goes upstairs and finds out that this kid who, his grandmother, when they opened the store, had a bunch of clothes from the 60s that didn't sell. They just left them upstairs and they were going to donate them to Goodwill, but they never got around to it. So
it's like a treasure trove for a upstart drag queen.
Oh my God. So they dress all the ladies up. But at one point during this montage scene, kind of in between the hair and makeup and the dresses, they're walking from one place to the other in the rape gang. That's all I can call them.
They're a fucking rape gang.
They're the rape gang. Are catcalling these women. And finally, Noxzema Jackson has had enough and goes over and roughs one of the guys up to the point that she makes him apologize to everyone and kind of tells him the only proper way to greet a woman is, good afternoon, ladies. Good evening, ladies. Tells him to go put on a clean shirt and clean himself up because he should be embarrassed for leaving the house like this. And apparently this one thing is what just totally changes these guys around, because by the end of the movie, everybody loves them. And
40 years later, when this guy's retiring as a senator, he's going to write in his book that this is what changed his life.
Yeah.
She did it all for him right there in like 30 seconds by grabbing his junk and trying to rip it off. There is your drag queen magic right there.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. That's the kind of magic I enjoy. But yeah, so those guys, fuck them. Honestly, by the end, we might bring them up a little bit later on because there are a few other scenes, but they just somehow go from being the skeeziest group of shitheads to perfectly fine.
Yeah, well-adjusted
and
young
everybody
men.
loves them, which I get it. This whole movie is kind of the effect that these women have on this town, coming in and just kind of lifting everybody up, showing them their worth, kind of making their lives a little better. So yeah, I guess they do it for the entire town, and it maybe wouldn't have played as well if there was still just a bunch of fucking pimply-faced angry teens in the corner just leering at people.
That's true.
Waiting for someone to wander off from the group so they could attack them. But whatever. So, we get that. That's a major part of the movie is just kind of them lifting these women up, making them feel good about themselves. And, there's little subplots. So we've got this adorable little older woman.
The deaf lady.
She's not deaf.
Oh, she plays deaf.
But she's not. So
or mute.
We get a scene early on where Blythe Danner, who plays one of the women in the town. I'm sorry, there were so many side characters in this movie. I don't have everybody's name, but Blythe Danner, Gwyneth Paltrow's mom, by the way, in case you didn't know, the blonde lady.
I can see that. Okay.
She's on the porch and she's kind of giving everybody the scoop. She's giving all the drag queens the scoop on the town. She's kind of the town gossip who knows everything. And we get this little older woman walk by and she tells her, she's like, her husband and her used to own the movie theater. After he passed away, she doesn't speak anymore. She can't hear what you're saying, which isn't true. They just assume that she can't hear. But she says there's no medical reason for it. She just kind of goes...
Yeah, hysterical deafness.
Yeah, just kind of goes deaf and mute. And she drops a picture and Noxzema Jackson runs and picks up and chases her down to try to give it to her. And you get this really nice kind of little side story. This older woman who just kind of closed up because her husband died and she didn't have anybody. And as soon as Wesley Snipes' character takes an interest in her, and they kind of bond over old classical movies because she used to run the theater,
yes.
And she starts talking to her about some of her favorite.
This is the most heartwarming story in the whole movie.
It's the whole movie's heartwarming, CJ. But this is one of those. She starts to talk to this little woman and just sits down next to her and starts talking about old movies, and all of a sudden she speaks. And she's like, "Oh my God, you talked! Where did this come from?"
Yeah,
and it's just because she was, in a rut. She was shook by the death of her husband and the loss of whatever life she had, and just needed somebody to talk to. So these characters come in and they bring her out of her shell and they get her to talk again. And by the end of the movie, she's a sassy little adorable old lady, and I love her.
Yep,
she's perfect.
That's basically the You've Got Mail's mascot is a sassy, adorable little old lady.
Just adorable elderly people in general. If you're a cute little old man or a cute little woman, if I feel like I could pick you up, put you in my pocket, and take you home with me, that's the kind of old person I'm looking for. So
just like a little kangaroo Joey sticking out of the front of your
I just want to put her in a baby Bjorn on my chest and walk around town. So we get that little side story. The other kind of major side, everybody has their own little things going on. I guess there's two. Let me go with the Chi Chi Rodriguez one first. So Chi Chi Rodriguez is interested in Bobby Ray, the boy that picked them up in the pickup truck.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. And listen, I don't know how to say this without getting some kind of hate, or I don't know how this is going to play out. Maybe nobody will care. I don't know how you couldn't tell John Leguizamo was a man.
I was going to say that about, John Leguizamo is probably the most passing of the three of those.
He was the least passing for me.
Oh, really?
And I don't know what it was. So maybe it just depends on your...
And this raises a question for me.
Okay.
Do you think Bobby Ray knew? Because that is a part of the end of the movie. Toward the end, is the one character says, "Yeah, of course I know that you're a drag queen." Do you think Bobby Ray knew?
No, I don't, because I can't remember the exact line, but so let me kind of walk us through to the end of this. But there's a mutual interest between the two, and then we have Bobby Lee, who is the daughter of Caroline and Virgil that own the hotel. She's interested in Bobby Ray, and she wants to ask him out. There's going to be like a big social coming up. They're all helping plan it. That's kind of like a little theme of the movie. She wants him to ask her to the social. He shows up. He asks Chi-Chi, breaks Bobby Lee's heart. They kind of have to convince Chi-Chi that this isn't a good idea because they say he doesn't know. And you're not being honest with him. And eventually he's going to find out. And like you need to be someone who's going to accept you for who you are.
They're very protective of Chi-Chi.
They are. They take it
because it's you're going to make some mistakes. And we're trying in that lifestyle, mistakes like that could be dangerous. Exactly. And they are very protective.
Exactly. So that's kind of Chi-Chi's little arc because she is very self-centered and doesn't really care so much about the group or other people as much as herself for a lot of the movie. And then she kind of realizes after seeing that it's hurt Bobby Lee and that this isn't a good way to start a relationship with someone or to have her, she decides to let him know, you're not the one for me. I can't see you anymore. We shouldn't do this. And then kind of steers him in the direction of Bobby Lee and they end up together. So she kind of helps get those two together. But where I was going, I wanted to kind of zip through that little storyline because at the end, when everyone kind of finds out they're drag queens, someone says it and Bobby Ray's face is like, what? Drag queens? Yeah. He had no idea.
What is that?
Yeah. He didn't know. So no, that wasn't I don't believe that he knew the whole time. But it was hard for me to suspend disbelief because while I knew that all of these were men playing men who played drag queens, John Leguizamo was the one that was the hardest for me to be like, that's clearly a man. You have to know.
I have it as the opposite.
So, I guess when you know that they're all, I don't know. It's hard to say because it's a movie, so you know these actors. You know what they look like without the makeup.
Yes.
So you know already, you go into it knowing they're not women. But for some reason to me, the Chi-Chi character was just the one that I would not have thought that a guy would have been like, oh, this is a beautiful woman in my town, regardless. So that's that sideline. The other one is Caroline and Virgil. This is the owners of the hotel. Virgil is the other biggest piece of shit in this movie.
This guy, he gets double the shit points from me. One, he's a woman-beaten asshole.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
And that's infinitely worse than the second one, but the second one, this dude hates spices.
He's got a very sensitive palate, CJ.
He's gonna beat up his wife because she put flavor in the red sauce.
Yeah.
Who the fuck hates... I wouldn't let you into my house if you said that.
Yeah, he's the most boring man on the planet. Just doesn't like an ounce of pepper in his sauce. And this is a good reason to beat your wife. Which honestly, maybe the guy does love spices. Maybe he's just a fucking asshole. Maybe he just looks for any reason to control his wife and he wants to make it so things are just the way he wants it. And honestly, he doesn't seem like he wants her to have any kind of fun or any kind of life.
He doesn't want her to like spices.
Exactly. He doesn't want her to have any spice in her life, CJ. And she needs the spices. She wants the spices.
It befuddled me. Yeah. I couldn't comprehend.
Yeah, I feel if you're gonna...
somebody that doesn't put salt and pepper in the red sauce.
This is also gonna sound awful, but if you're gonna give a guy in a movie a reason to beat his wife, you could think of something more interesting than she added some spices to the sauce.
Yes.
You know what? There could have been a multitude of other reasons that they could have fit into this movie. It did seem odd, but I think that, I said, I just came to a realization that it's just, he doesn't want any spice in his life or her life. He wants to control her and keep things as bland, as boring as possible. So he probably goes out for dinner without her and fucking eats Indian food and turns it up to 10. Like, he's probably just an asshole at home. That's my guess.
I can see this.
Yeah. So we get this whole scene, where Patrick Swayze's character Vita, Carol Ann, have like this immediate connection almost where they become best friends. And he really cares about her and he sees what's going on. So at one point he hears Virgil. He kind of puts the pieces together. She's crying a lot. I think she has a black eye at one point.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious to tell that she's being abused. And one night in the hotel room, they can hear everybody. They can hear them fighting in the other room. Patrick Swayze
goes full Roadhouse.
Everything's short of ripping the guy's throat out. He goes, knocks on it, opens the door, kicks Carol Ann out, and Vita proceeds to just beat the shit out of Virgil, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
And then throws him right out the front door, and then Virgil's gone. So
yeah, that solved that problem forever. We'll get to the end of the movie.
No, I know. I know what you're going to say. I totally understand because that is kind of another issue. There's a very quick. So this movie happens in the span of maybe like 48 hours. There are a lot of storylines in this movie that are resolved pretty quickly. And I think with any other kind of genre, this wouldn't really be accepted. But I think because this movie is kind of a feel-good comedy, you can kind of like let it slide in a way. But realistically, there's a lot of things that don't add up.
Yeah.
You kind of have to suspend disbelief a little bit. But we get that storyline is kind of resolved. We see Virgil. We're nearing the end here. Chris Penn, Sheriff Dullard, still alive, still a complete piece of shit. He has taken it upon himself, which I feel like this is a gross misuse of police resources. He is doing everything in his power. He's got like road stops set up where he's stopping cars coming through towns.
It's almost like a Blues Brothers thing.
It is. Absolutely, it is.
And he's got a Cinderella. He's got one of their shoes.
He's got one of their
Cinderella thing.
He's got one of their shoes,
time.
and he's trying to track down these drag queens that basically beat him up and left him for dead.
With a magic list of where he thinks drag queens would be.
He says, I forget what the list says, but
it has brunch on it.
It's places where gays hang out is what his list says.
Yes.
And it's a ballet studio, it's a flower shop, it's a brunch. It's so stupid, it's funny. Like,
I think it's to show just how dull this guy is.
Exactly, and just dumb. Like, it just shows like these people that like are idiots. And so he's searching for them. He's at a bar one night. So I'll say this, but he's at a bar, drowning his sorrows. Who sits down next to him? Virgil. He's got the shoe on the bar, and somehow they put two and two together, and Virgil kind of turns him on to, this is where these drag queens you're looking for are. So we get the final end of the movie. Dullard rolls into town. They're all getting ready for the Strawberry Festival they're about to hold. Gets out with a shotgun and a bullhorn. And he's just calling for these drag queens. It's basically a witch hunt. He's like, these people are in your town and that's not right and they shouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we get like the I am Spartacus.
I have that written down. Spartacus with the shoes.
Yeah, the I am Spartacus of drag queen movies, where he's saying he wants to find the woman that fits this shoe. And first, someone comes out in this red gown with this big red veil. And the way it's edited, Vita walks out of the room in a red dress, and then this woman walks out the front door in a red dress, walks up to Dullard, lifts the veil. It's Carol Ann.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, that's my shoe. And he's like, you're not who I'm looking for. And then the whole town comes out. And
you are not the drag queen I am looking for.
Everyone in this town starts rolling out and going, I'm the drag queen. I'm a drag queen. Like, guys are saying it. My favorite was like the older like black gentleman who runs the diner, who ends up being like Blythe Danner's love interest.
Yeah,
is wearing like the most ridiculous outfit. He's wearing like big like flowered sunglasses and like a handkerchief, a crazy red hat. And he's like, I'm a drag queen, big boy, and he's like rubbing his nipples.
Well, this is the Strawberry Festival,
yeah.
So they're all dressed in pink and red.
Yeah, but that was great. And so at this point, Dullard just gives up. And he's like, you people, you don't know what's going on here. They're going to ruin your town. And he leaves. Never really gets any comeuppance aside from the fact that he just doesn't get what he wants and he still looks like a complete buffoon the entire time. So, and then Virgil shows back up, and that's pretty much dealt with almost immediately again, where he comes back to town and they tell him to kick rocks, and he does. So,
yeah, until they leave. I mean, he's probably just waiting on the outskirts of town.
But that's the thing. When he comes back, Carol Ann stands up to him and tells him to leave. And I don't think the drag queens are around at that point.
Okay.
So she kind of stands up for herself and shoos him off. But I still don't think, guy had a garage in a hotel that he owned or partly owned in that town. Like, I'm sure he's going to be back around at some point.
He's not going to just go live at that bar.
yeah, he's going to be back around at some point. And then from here, we kind of get the beautiful goodbyes from everybody. We get the town saying, and we find out, like you said, that Carol Ann knew they were drag queens the entire time.
Yes, she actually says a pretty heartwarming line is, I have a lady friend with an Adam's apple.
Yeah. Which the way she said Adam's apple for some reason drove me crazy. Like, I felt like she didn't say it right.
Adam's apple?
No, she was like, Adam's apple. Like, there was a weird pause between it every time. But either way, Patrick Swayze's about to, like, confess to her that, I need to tell you something. And she just goes, Adam's apple. And he's like, uh-huh. She's like, you have an Adam's apple. Women don't have Adam's apples. But then she goes, no, you're my lady friend with a Adam's apple.
Yeah.
And then she tells him that she says, Vita Boheme, I love you. And that was probably the most heartwarming part of the movie for me. It's because he kind of like tears up and says, I've been waiting my whole life for someone to say that to this name.
Yes.
Because, he's this drag queen. This is who he is. Like, this is his character. He's not whoever he is when he is out of drag. He's who he is when he is, or she is. She is who she is.
Yes. And was hoping for a mother figure to say, I love you.
Yeah. And that's kind of what she was to him. And then, we get the goodbyes from the little old lady to Noxzema. We get all these great goodbyes from all the town. And then they leave off, presumably leaving the town in a better place. Everybody's happy at this point. We get a little...
Until Sheriff brings a fucking tank next week.
Right. Well, at that point, the drag queens are gone, so maybe everything's fine. We get a little flash forward to California, where they are at the event to crown the national drag queen champion. Da-da-da-da! It's Chi-Chi.
Which never won didn't win the qualifiers. How are you in the finals?
I think that's my biggest problem with this movie is I don't know how she got in the competition.
Yeah.
And she's got a complete glow up too.
And is it Julie Andrews with the
Julie Newmar?
Julie Newmar with a Catwoman.
Yeah. That's why the movie is called Thanks for Everything. Julie Newmar.
Nice little cameo there.
Yeah. So she has a great. Yeah, we didn't really talk about why Julie Newmar is even important to this movie.
Oh yeah, at the club scene.
Yeah, when they decide to go to Hollywood, Vita's looking in her compact mirror and she realizes there's a picture of Julie Newmar behind her. And she's kind of an idol for her. So they steal the picture off the wall. And that's kind of like their good vibes talisman. They take this with them and kind of to look over them and like
yes, and
give them a safe trip.
Picture is signed to Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. Which until this movie, I've heard of this movie. Yeah. Never knew that it was like a dress to a person named Wong Fu. I always just thought maybe that was like a French song, like To Wong Fu.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know either until I saw it for the first time. I had no idea.
I felt like a real idiot for a few seconds there.
I didn't get it either, CJ, until I saw this movie, and then it all became clear to me.
Good.
So that's the movie. Shall we give this movie any flowers? Do our grand gestures portion where we talk about anything we might have missed or things that we'd like to shout this movie out for?
Sure. I don't even know if I want to say this guy's name, but...
Okay. Go for it.
I will. For our German listeners, we have multiple now. Feel free. You've got mails at Facebook.
Yeah, check us out. We've also got an email. It's you've.gotmails@yahoo. I think I've given out that email address before, and I forgot to put the dot in it.
Someone might have been trying German. We'll do it.
Someone might have been trying to get hold of us this whole time, and I gave out the wrong email address. So.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
Yeah.
So we... For those who don't know, we're in Pennsylvania. We had a senator here for a long time who goes by the name Rick Santorum. Real piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
You might actually still see him on CNN once in a while as a talking head. He's like the token Republican. He was like the last holdout when it was like gay people can get married. Gay people can be human beings in our country. He was like the last holdout of hate. In the scene when Dollard is first at the bar... and he's just railing on and on about gay people. You can see, like, nobody's even sitting near him. He's just the guy in the corner that's just like, and then they like to touch their butts together, and then they have dongs, and all big dongs, and, like, he's just...
manly hands touching
and
chest hair.
And you can see... Yes, exactly. It reminded me, like, this is how I always used to imagine Rick Santorum was. Like, it's nighttime, and his wife's like, how's it going, honey? Are you coming to bed? He's like, no, I gotta stay up all night and think about gay sex. It was just so dead on that it reminded me of him, and it made me angry.
So let me ask you a question then, because this was one of mine as well. Dullard's closeted, like, self-hating gay, right?
Usually I think the guys that are that into it, like
It's
into the
just-
hatred or...
That scene cemented it for me, because the way he's saying what he's saying, it's almost like he's envious of it, or like he's talking about it in like a reverential way. Like, it's not a hateful way when he starts to say it. Like, he's really drunk, and he's kind of like, oh, men with their rough hands touching each other, chest hair, and it just sounds like he's like into it.
I can say from my own experience that I know 2 people that have driven by gay clubs and screamed slurs. Both of them now sleep with men.
There you go.
So that's just my experience with it.
Well, I'm glad they found them true selves.
Yeah, they're actually, there was a lot of hatred, but underneath of that hatred was their true self.
Part of me likes to think that, like, after they left the town, like, Virgil and Sheriff Dullard, like, linked up, and now they're happily married gay men somewhere.
Oh, that would be...
Yeah, that's what I want for those two.
That's on the return trip back to New York.
Yeah. As they drive back through, they find them. They've set up, like, a nice little bed and breakfast. I like that a lot.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Is that all you got?
Yeah, that's me there.
All right, so I got a few little things here, I think. Wong Fu. You weren't sure what that was or who that was. The bar that they go to is the China Bowl restaurant, where the picture is hanging. Wong Fu is a real person. He was the bartender at that bar for a very long time, and a lot of the pictures in that bar are signed to him. He was kind of like the owner, bartender of this like famous bar in New York City.
Okay.
So that's who the picture was made out to. I had to look into that. The other thing that I want to just shout out to this movie is just like the actors in this movie, like the 3 guys in this movie that played the 3 drag queens, are those characters. Like, when I watched this movie, especially the second time watching it, like, I didn't look at this movie as like, oh, that's Patrick Swayze in drag. I was like, that's Vita Boheme, or that's Noxzema Jackson. They did such a good job in this movie. This movie could have been made and gone way overboard and played for laughs.
Yes.
So that,
Actually, let's talk about this, because
Okay.
I had some thoughts on this the same way.
Yeah. So, like, this movie could have been for people that don't really appreciate, like, I'm trying to think of a movie, I can't think of one, but I'm sure they're out there where they just camp it up, they turn the, for lack of a better word, the gay up to 11 to give you, like, a stereotypical gay character, trans character, whatever. This was just, like, they were playing characters, and I think, like, I never really thought much of Patrick Swayze. Not that I think much. I just never seen a lot of his movies. Never struck me as, like, a good actor. Like, I always just thought, like, Roadhouse, like these, which I haven't seen. Like,
I hate to tell you, I've never seen Roadhouse. This might be like the first Patrick Swayze movie of my adult life. I'm sure I've seen one here or there.
But I just never saw any of his movies, never saw any of them out. I just thought he was like a guy that was in like romance movies or action movies, but wasn't like a good actor. Or he just kind of like was there for his looks, more or less, I guess, maybe, because he was like a heartthrob at that time.
This could have been the Wayans brothers version of this movie, in which case it would have been a complete joke.
Yeah, absolutely. That's perfect.
I got that same thing. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That's the kind of like that's the perfect movie that I was trying to think of that this could have been.
And it made me think. I was worried a little bit covering this movie. Was after I watched it, I thought that same thing, and I actually Googled up to see, like, hey, is this movie problematic? And I guess it is actually regarded as, like, a good movie in the drag community.
Why wouldn't it? Like, there's nothing about, like, it's so heartfelt. It's heartfelt. It's not played, like, in a mean way. It's like these guys, like, came in, took these roles. It's like they weren't playing the guy that was in drag. They were playing the character of Vita Boheme. Yeah. Patrick Swayze wasn't playing a guy dressed as a woman. He was playing that woman, which is how it should be. Like, and it was perfect. Like, I just really feel like they did such a good job and, like, made me, like, not see them as anything but the women that they were. And
I could also say, watching this, so this is Patrick Swayze, prime Patrick Swayze. This is after Roadhouse. It was before or after the Ghost movie.
No, it was. I think this was 95. I think the other stuff came before this. Like This was kind of like his last like big movie, I think.
But I mean, he's still like, to put it lightly, in his prime bangable Patrick Swayze years.
Oh yeah, he's a heartthrob. He's a sex symbol.
He's a big actor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wesley Snipes, huge fucking actor.
At that time, that was probably the hugest he was, because like, I guess I'd say maybe once he did the Blade movies, but those were like late 90s, early 2000s. Like, he had done like a lot of action movies. He was becoming a big name action star.
For these guys to take this role and dive into it that serious, I don't believe... Like, my favorite thing nowadays is when assholes are talking about movies and they go, you couldn't make that movie nowadays. I don't actually know if you could make this movie, because I don't think you can get 3 actors that are that big that would take it that seriously. Like, could you picture... I don't know, Tom Cruise and The Rock doing this?
Well...
who's like the biggest actors right now? I wouldn't even know.
It's funny you brought up Tom Cruise, because he was actually one of the actors that was being considered in talks to play the role of Vita.
Yeah, but like Tom Cruise now, where he hangs off the side of planes and shit.
No.
And like these guys, like The Rock...
He'd play it like he played his Les Grossman character in Tropic Thunder. Like, he'd be over the top in makeup. And
exactly. Like, The Rock is so sensitive, it's written into his contract that he's not allowed to lose fights.
Yeah.
You know, like, if he did this, it would be a big joke.
It was a huge leap for these guys. And from what I understood, there were a lot of big-name actors. Like, Gary Oldman was interested in...
I could see him.
Tom Cruise. Mel Gibson, actually, was considered for the main role.
Would he be Sugar Tits?
And at the same...
Would that be his name?
At the same time...
See, look, I'm making it a joke. Damn it.
Yeah, you are. Although I did enjoy it, because there's a scene in the movie where after they kick Virgil out, Carol Ann's like, let's just get rid of all the men. And they're like, well, no, we should keep a couple. And they're naming off guys they'd keep. And she's like, well, maybe Mel Gibson. And I was like, well, that didn't age well. You probably wouldn't want to keep him anymore if you knew what he was like now. But yeah, like, this movie was kind of thought at the time, like, this was... If you took this role, you might get an Oscar. Like, you're at least a nomination. And none of them did. I really think Patrick Swayze should have. Like, I think this was an amazing performance. Like, just the fact that I was able to look at this guy fully knowing who he was and only see him as that character. Just amazing. Like, this is probably, like, honest to God. Like, I'm not an acting connoisseur. Like, I'll watch just about anything. I think some movies, the worse they are, the better I like them. Like, I'm all in favor of bad movies. I mean, I love bad acting. Like, I get a kick out of it. This might be, if you asked me what's the best acting performance you've ever seen, I might say this.
Wow,
it's just like,
that's a strong statement.
It is, but just the way that, like I said, when I watch this movie, second time watching it, you don't see Patrick Swayze. Like, he is so into this role and just takes up this character. It's amazing to me.
Okay. I can agree with that.
Yeah. But I think that's it. I think that's my flowers, and I think we should turn this chick flick into a dick flick.
Yeah, I got one already.
All right, good, because I don't think I have anything. I'm going to think while you're talking.
Oh, good, because I was hoping... I always feared that me and you might go down the same route on this. I wanted the Coen brothers dark comedy version of this. So it basically is the same movie up until they meet... it's Chris Penn, right?
Yeah, Chris Penn, yeah.
Douchebag Dollard.
Yeah.
They meet him... Same exact scene. He gets really frisky, goes for the sexual assault, gets thrown off, gets knocked out. And John Leguizamo goes up, checks his pulse, says, oh, good, he's still alive. And we'll say Wesley Snipes comes over and goes, okay, good. Boom, boom.
Oh, Jesus.
Takes his gun, double taps him.
Wow.
And now it becomes a thing. They break down in the town. Rape gang shows up. Rape gang gets murdered. And it becomes this, what was that movie, Monster? I don't think I've ever seen it, but it's basically like a woman going nuts and murdering all the bad men.
I don't know if she murders bad men. I think she was just a serial killer that murdered men, but I don't know if they were bad. I don't know, but I get where you're going. It's kind of like a revenge. I like where your head's at there.
But I like the idea of it being, unfortunately, now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm saying I didn't want it to be, but like almost a grindhouse sort of movie.
Well, that would be excellent. Yeah.
With,
I
maybe
feel like that would
a
fit.
Tarantino sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Ends with a big old shootout, and they're just basically murdering people left and right.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of went with it.
All right. This will be a first for You've Got Mails, but I don't think I'm going to do one on this episode.
No?
I like this movie too much, and I don't think there's a good way. Like, I think yours was good. I don't think I can come up with a second good one that is going to turn this into a better movie without ruining what it was meant to be. So I think I'm gonna recuse myself from this one.
So what you're saying is I went low and you're going high. You're taking the high road on this.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Do you want to edit yours out?
No.
I can't. For the life of me, like I did try to think about what I would do with this movie, and I can't. Like I said, you can't like turn it into like some like laugh out loud comedy because I think it would ruin what they did with the people. Like I love your idea of a grindhouse because it would still be serious and it would take these characters that are marginalized and are mistreated and let them have like their revenge and kind of like stand up to the bullies.
Yeah.
So I love that. Like I think your idea is maybe one of the only ones that would actually make what they're doing with this movie still work. And like still make you feel good and like empower them. And that's what you need to do. I don't want to do anything that would like take away the power this movie gives them. So I love your idea and I'm not going to do one because yours is perfect and I would ruin it. All right?
All right, I feel better about myself.
Talk to you off the ledge. Let's Nick Cage this motherfucker.
Fuck yeah. You go first then, just in case I don't want to do it.
All right. So I took my kryptonite, adorable little elderly people, and I decided to connect Clara, the little old deaf mute woman,
Okay.
to Nicolas Cage, which actually turned out to be a little easier than I thought. Did you recognize Clara from anything?
I mean, she looked like she was in every movie with a little adorable old lady.
Did you ever see Ghostbusters?
Yes.
The beginning of Ghostbusters, when they're in the library, and the ghost flies through the librarian and scares the shit out of her.
She's the librarian.
She's the librarian, okay? So she's in Ghostbusters as the librarian. Ghostbusters also stars Sigourney Weaver as Dana. Sigourney Weaver, famously Ripley from the Alien series.
Absolutely.
I went with Alien Resurrection, which stars Ron Perlman also as Johnner. Ron Perlman plays Bobo in a movie called The Retirement Plan, which is a newer Nicolas Cage movie that I have not seen yet.
I have not as well.
It looks like he's an old washed-up surfer who's actually special forces in some way, and he's actually like a total badass. And they come
so it's like a real-life documentary.
Yeah, sorta. Yeah. So that's how I connected the adorable little old woman.
Well, I thought about this, how to add Nicolas Cage to this movie. He would have been... I don't think he could have pulled off the stars and bars like RuPaul did, so I'm not going to put him there. But have you ever seen a movie... have you ever seen The Wedding Crashers?
Oh, yeah.
So it's about the guys, they have their lifestyle, and they talk at one point about the guru that taught them everything.
Yeah.
And it ends up being Will Ferrell.
The meatloaf!
Yes, exactly. Like, he's the original wedding crasher that taught them all their moves. I wanted it to be more like, because this whole movie, they're teaching John Leguizamo how to be.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a thing where he turns to them and says, well, who taught you? And they say, the best.
Uh-huh.
And they take a little road trip before they take their real road trip to go meet Nicolas Cage, who's like just
this.
drag queen awards all over the back wall.
So you've created an entirely new character for Nicolas Cage. Bravo.
And he the same thing, just absolutely fucking glamorous. So that's where I would go with it. That's where I'd put him in this one.
Beautiful. Let's rate this thing.
All right.
I'm going first.
Okay.
4.5.
4.5.
I absolutely love this movie. Like I said, I added this to the list. I just think it's just such a, like, it just makes me feel good. Like, it's a feel-good movie. It just makes me smile. Like, I love the fact that it's like, so accepting.
Hand job for the soul. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. It just, I don't know what it is about this movie, man. It's one of those movies where there's nothing to be upset about. Even the awful characters, they get their comeuppance. They make them look stupid. Yeah, you've got this, like, horrible bigot, racist, like, sexist, homophobic sheriff. But he's just such a clown. He's simply there for you to dislike him, and you know that he's wrong, and they don't give you any illusion to the fact that he might be right, because he's not. He's just a bad guy. And, like, if anything, I take away half points just for, like, little plot points like the rape gang. How all of a sudden they're just, like, the best guys in town, and they're just, all of a sudden, they're perfect gentlemen and wonderful. And they kick Virgil out of the house, and all of a sudden, this abused woman is just able to be like, all right, that's it. Everything's good. Like, they kind of diminish, I guess, a little bit, like, people who are abused, because that's not how that works. You're in an abusive relationship. A lot of times it's not that easy to just get out of it. So there are a few little things like that I think could have been done better. Like I said, because this is played for more of a, a buddy comedy, feel-good kind of movie, you can kind of quick turnaround on some of those things. You kind of have to forgive it as far as the movie goes. But this movie just makes me happy, man. You could have never told me 6 months ago that I'd see Tu Wong Fu, and it'd be like literally like a movie that I would just rave about.
It changes your cinema going life.
It does. Like, and literally, like I said, I mean, for me, this performance by Patrick Swayze is probably one of the best acting performances I've ever seen. I really believe that. And I think that this movie is just so good at, like, everybody just poured themselves into these roles and you don't even realize it.
I've only heard you talk this highly about, like, Jurassic Park. That's saying something.
It's a banger. So yeah, 4.5. I love this movie.
I'm gonna go 3. Well, I know you'd feel offended by this. A 3, it gets a 3 for basically all those good points you said. There is something to say. I know that we have a fucking podcast about reviewing romance movies and chick flicks.
Yeah.
So I know, like, none of these movies are for me. This movie was definitely not for me. Like, it wasn't...
CJ, it's for everybody.
I could see... I mean, I don't want to give it extra points just for the sake of it being inclusivity sort of thing.
I got you.
Like, there were times in this movie where I was kind of like, all right, like, this just seems...
I can't.
Like, okay, suddenly there's like a weird prom thing going on after Bobby Lee and Billy Lee or whatever.
Strawberry Social.
No, not the Strawberry Social, but before...
It was the night before. It was like a weekend event.
There was just a little bit of weirdness going on for me. And, so I'm sticking with a 3 on this one.
Well, CJ, much like the women in this movie, I accept you for who you are.
That's right.
And what you are is a terrible movie reviewer, but I accept you for it.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. You're entitled to your opinion. Okay. Just like everyone out there is entitled to live their best lives and do what's right for them.
Yeah, that's the official stance if you've got males.
God bless America.
Live your best life.
That's right. Actually, yeah. That's right. Shall we roll a movie?
Yeah, I think we are going to roll a movie here.
Let me look and see how many we've got on the old listy list.
We've been adding them.
We have been adding them. It gets a little bigger every time. That's what she said.
Damn it.
I beat you to it.
You beat me to it.
We are at 198.
198. All right, let's hit the random number generator. 87.
87. Let's have a
what do we got? Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts. It's been a week without her.
CJ, it is not Julia Roberts. But let me tell you what it is.
Tell me.
We're crazy for Swayze, baby. It is Ghost.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Corey, listen at home, wants us to do Roadhouse.
We're one step closer,
I
guess.
One step closer. We're going to run out of Swayze eventually.
If we eventually run out of Patrick Swayze movies, maybe we'll do Roadhouse, but I still wouldn't hold your breath.
No.
What do you know about Ghost? Have you seen Ghost?
This is why I was saying I don't know if I've ever seen a Swayze movie as, like, in my adult life where I could actually comprehend what was going on. I'm pretty sure I saw Ghost as a child, and it scared the fuck out of me.
Okay.
It has a scene in it.
I like that, because, I mean, you know I'm a horror movie guy.
There's a scary bit. It's almost like, remember in Who Framed Roger Rabbit when the guy gets run over by the steamroller?
Oh, terrifying.
And that screwed me up as a child.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that, where I still picture evil ghost monsters or something.
Okay, I wonder if it'll still work as older gentlemen like we are today.
Yeah. Oh, and Whoopi Goldberg, and of course, you know, that song where they're playing with the pottery wheel.
Oh, yeah.
I know everybody knows about that.
I've never seen it, but I know of it, and I feel like this is one of those ones, like if you were to ask someone to make like a Mount Rushmore of like chick flicks, I feel like this one's in contention to be on there. I feel like this is one of those ones that like everyone's like, you got to see it. It's like your Pretty Woman's Your Notebooks. I feel
this had to have sold a lot of pottery wheels. Like that movie had to have sold, it brought the industry around. Big pottery.
I still have mine. All right. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for listening again. I really need to get better at plugging this podcast, which I forget to do almost every episode. So please find us on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Give us a rating and a review. It helps us out immensely. Subscribe to us. Check us out on Facebook at You've Got Mails. Email us, youvegotmails@yahoo. Yeah, please reach out. Talk to us. Tell us what you think we're doing good. Tell me what you think we're doing bad. Shower us with praise. That's what we want.
That's, I mean, you only do this so that you can be validated, right?
Exactly. Thank you for listening. Until next time when we do Ghost, stay romantic. Don't be shitty to each other.
Live from the Strawberry Festival.